right at this very moment as you read this sentence. Do you hear a voice inside your head? If you do, you are talking to yourself at this exact fraction of a second. But here is a mind-bending truth. Half of humanity has never heard that voice, even once in their entire lives. And until recently, they didn't even know they were different. In 2011, a research team at the University of Nevada started a bizarre experiment. They gave participants a beeper that went off at random times throughout the day. The moment it beeped, they had to record exactly what was in their head: thoughts, images, emotions, and voices. The results were completely unexpected. A significant number of participants reported that the exact moment the bell rang, there was absolutely no language in their heads, no sentences, no words, no internal dialogue, just images, sensations, a formless awareness. At first, the researchers thought this was an error, but it wasn't. This phenomenon has a name: Anendophasia, or the absence of an internal monologue. These people think without language. When they read a book, they don't voice the words inside their head. When they make plans, sentences like, "I should do this," don't cross their mind. They just know. When people first discover this, their reactions are almost always identical: confusion, followed by a strange sense of betrayal. One man remarked, "For 30 years, I thought everyone else was just as quiet as I am." But then, something even stranger happened. As this fact spread across the internet, the opposite reaction erupted. People with an internal monologue flatly refused to believe it. No voice in your head? Then how do you even think? Does that mean you're just living with a completely empty mind? A subtle, deep rift formed between the two groups. Those with an internal monologue started wondering, if there is no voice, is there even a self? Meanwhile, those without it thought, if there is a voice, is that really you? Or is it something else mimicking you? This is where everything changes, because this question is actually thousands of years old. For centuries, philosophers have asked, is the thinking me and the actual me the exact same entity? René Descartes famously said, "I think, therefore I am." But what if thought isn't language? Then that foundational sentence crumbles. This isn't just a minor difference in brain structure. This represents two entirely different ways of experiencing your own existence. And here is a terrifying fact that almost no one talks about. Many people with an internal monologue mistake that voice for their actual self. But neuroscientists say otherwise. That voice is not your ego. It is simply another layer observing your ego. When you think to yourself, "I failed today," the entity speaking that phrase and the entity listening to it are, in fact, entirely separate. So the question arises, who is the one talking inside your head, and who are you, the one listening to it? To this day, no one has been able to answer this, and it gets worse. An internal monologue isn't just about whether a voice exists or not. Studies show that the tone of that voice directly shapes your mental health. When researchers analyzed the inner monologue of people suffering from depression, they found a chilling commonality. The voice was almost always in the second person. Not "I failed," but "you failed," as if a completely separate judge was planted inside their skull. And this voice isn't something you chose. The things people said to you during your childhood, your parents, your teachers, your society, over time, those external words quietly morph into the voice inside your head. You believe you are having a conversation with yourself right now, but you might actually just be talking to the echo of someone from a long time ago. This story isn't really about an internal monologue. It's about how many hidden layers make up the entity you call yourself. The you that thinks, the you that listens to that thought, and the you that reacts to it. We live our lives believing the self is a single, unified thing. But that belief might be the most elaborate illusion our brains have ever constructed. Whether you have a voice in your head or not, whatever you call me right now is a far stranger entity than you think. Tonight, before you fall asleep, if something starts talking inside your head, try asking it a question. Is the one speaking right now truly me? Or is it just an echo of someone else I've mistaken for myself my entire life? You are talking to yourself at this very moment. The real problem is, can you be absolutely sure who you are talking to?